Hey guys, welcome back to Carvalho Fitness. I'm Chris Carvalho, and today our topic is the top 5 carb sources. Before we get started, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get notified every time I post a video. First on our list, vegetables. I know guys, vegetables are not the first thing you think of when you think carbs, but they're very important for you to keep in mind. Vegetables are very volume dense, so they will take up more space in your stomach. So what happens is, as you eat a lot of vegetables, you feel full. So you're going to get signals that you should stop eating. Therefore, you're not going to eat that dessert or some other snacks throughout the day. And that's going to make you drop fat fast. Sometimes, at the end of the day, I'm really hungry, especially after a long workout. So I could go out and I could eat a huge meal. But instead, I'll just stay home. I'll eat my protein with a little bit of carbs, and a huge chunk of those carbs will be vegetables. Think about it like this. If I want, I can have 2 cups of broccoli. That's a lot of broccoli. That's going to be around 100 calories. It's going to fill you up a lot. It's going to give you lots of fiber. It's going to give you a lot of minerals and vitamins. Would you get that from 100 calories worth of french fries? No, you wouldn't. You're going to be full from this. This is going to allow you to go to bed, start your next day, and it's going to fuel you for the next day. Your workouts are going to be better because you had the vegetables, as opposed if you had some greasy carbs. A couple examples of my favorite vegetables are broccoli, asparagus, and Brussels sprouts. Next, we have fruits. Sometimes it would be a good idea to have a piece of fruit before you go have a workout. You don't really necessarily need to have a bowl of rice with some chicken in there. You could have like a little meal, but sometimes you end up a little too full and you want to keep it light when you go work out. So what I like to do is eat a banana or have an apple before I go to the gym. Tends to give me a good, steady amount of energy to get through my workout. And then when I get home, then I'll actually have a larger meal. The third best carb source, in my opinion, are potatoes. I think potatoes have become a little underappreciated, but if you actually look at the nutritional information on potatoes, you get a lot of potassium from eating a potato. And it's low calorie. It's not gonna bloat you like french fries. I'm not saying go out and get french fries. What I am saying is cut them up, maybe roast them, bake them, make it healthy. A couple things to go into with potatoes. You have white potatoes, plenty of types of potatoes. And then you have sweet potatoes. The preference really is yours. Me personally, I like them both. I like to switch it up. Personally, what I like to do is I like to cut up some potatoes into fry shape. Use a little bit of cooking spray. Get them a little sprayed up. Yep, I said that. All right, so you get them a little sprayed up. Then you throw some seasonings on there. I personally like to use Himalayan pink salt, very good product to use, a lot of health benefits. I get some black pepper, crush it up on there, a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, and those fries are going to taste really good. Then I'll actually throw them in the oven right on the rack, and I will put a cookie sheet on the bottom rack to catch the drippings. Now, the way the air will circulate through the oven is going to make those fries crispy, and it's going to have that texture, almost like actual French fries, except you have zero fat at all. That is perfect. You want fries? You got fries. Now maybe throw a little ketchup on there. Perfect. And then, of course, you throw in your chicken or your fish, whatever you feel like having that night. Number 4, rice. You can't go wrong with rice. Everyone uses rice as a staple part of their diet. You could go with brown rice or white rice. Choice is yours. You could switch it up. Some people really cannot get into the taste of brown rice. No matter how much they try, it just tastes like cardboard to them. Me personally, I don't really mind the taste. Throw a few condiments on there, some seasonings. Tastes all right. But the main benefits with brown rice is it gives you a prolonged energy level. Where if you have the white rice, I don't know if you've ever had Chinese food, you know how you're like hungry an hour later? Yeah, that's basically because it's a really high carb source. It's very processed. So the white rice is going to spike your insulin levels. It's going to give you that sudden energy, quick, but it's not going to be sustainable. You might crash, or you're just going to run out of that energy pretty quick. However, if you were to have the brown rice, you're going to get a steady flow of energy. Not as high as the white rice, but it's going to sustain you for a longer period of time. Number 5, bread. How could you forget bread, Huge staple in a lot of cuisines. Bread goes with everything. Think about it. You're having a nice Italian dinner. You can have a little bit of garlic bread with it. Boom, there it is. So, the thing to remember about bread, I personally don't really see too much of a taste difference between white and wheat bread. So, whenever possible, go with 100% whole grain wheat bread. If it doesn't say 100%, that's the store's marketing. They're trying to trick you. If you look at the actual ingredients on the label, it's got to say, if the title does not say 100% whole grain, I kind of want to bet you that if you look at the ingredients, you're going to notice there's a catch. Because I've caught it a few times. I'll go to Walmart, for example. They're known for this. And you look at their whole wheat bread. Look at their ingredients. It says composite mix 50% or 51% whole wheat grain flour. 51% is not 100%. So if that's something that matters to you, you really got to read the fine print. You got to start with the ingredients. They're going to list the number 1 ingredient is the most concentrated thing in the product. That should say 100% whole grain flour. If it doesn't, it's not whole grain, whole wheat bread. But basically, the benefits of the brown bread versus the white bread comes down to the same thing as the rice. Already covered it. The sustained energy. It's a better bread. It's going to give you more fiber. It's the healthier option. But a little of either one in moderation. You can balance them both, and they're both great for you. Alright guys, there you have it. To recap, the top 5 carb sources: vegetables, fruits, potatoes, rice, and breads. Alright guys, if you have any carb sources that you prefer over these, leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn your notifications on so you're alerted when I post the next video. See you in the next one.